Alright y'all, peep game. So Tanjiro returned to the Butterfly Mansion to see the Sound Hashira Tengen kidnapping nurses for a mission. And Tanjiro's not pleased with this. He starts rushing him for the headbutt, but Tengen is too fast for that. Tengen lets him know that he's a Hashira and that Tanjiro should know his place, but Tanjiro ain't no punk. He said, you gotta show me you a Hashira for real. But Tengen ignores him, telling him that he needs female members of the Corps for a specific mission. So Tanjiro asks him, what if we go instead? And Tengen responds,
what do you mean, we?
Telling us need to get on up out of these streets. I got time for the beat. Put our life in this beach and live on. What's the point of having talent just to sit on? God created us a lane we can build on. Yeah, we came from the mud, made our way just because we got kids and love.
Do this shit for the art that I heard niggas saying. It's my year. I told niggas make space. Told them I feel the same way. Ain't it up deep in that water to show.
My musical score technique will take us to victory!
Bitch take crazy cause I was embarrassed to be. Ain't know I was holding. I'm playing for keeps. You can keep what you got. I'm just saying that I'm losing touch with the old me. Found something with sort that my soul needed.
So we get to the entertainment district and Tengen gives Tanjiro and crew their mission. Basically, they're supposed to find his 3 wives. Yes, you heard me. 3. And you, yes you, still have 0 hoes. You gotta do better. His 3 wives are here to help Tengen search for the demon, but he lost communication with them and needs our boys to find them and help take down the demon. And you know what? Honestly, Tengen seems like a cool dude, despite the attempted kidnapping earlier. Zenitsu is the first one to come into contact with the demon, and after she almost rips this girl's ear off, he tries to stop her. But then she just backhands the shit out of him. After a while, Tanjiro and Inosuke catch on to the demon and get ready to confront it. Finally, Tanjiro runs into the demon and finds out she's one of Muzan's hoes, specifically Upper 6, who then launches this man out the building. And with that, the fade began. Upper 6 uses belts to fight, so she starts sending them at Tanjiro, who starts slicing away at them with these. She goes for the backhand, but Tanjiro blocks it, falling to the ground. You know, despite how broken chopped you are, you got skill with that sword, and here I thought you were ass. Did this sun ducker just call me broke? I know damn well I get paid. Who the fuck is this moon glazer talking to? Now she has to run my fade. She launches more belts at him, but he starts using that Hinokame Kagura, which cuts through it like a hot knife through butter. He runs it with a slash, but she weaves it before striking him in the neck. She thinks she's gotta hit him, but then Tanjiro disappears before jump scaring her from behind, but that ish don't work. She smacks him, sending him skipping across the ground. She tries to do a quick drive-by on him, but he dodges, flipping into the air. Then they get back to boxing and low-key, just look at the animation. The animators know what they're here for. After taking a second to recover, Tanjiro jumps back in with another strike.
Meanwhile,
Inosuke found where the demon is hiding all her victims underground, including Zenitsu. The belt starts talking some bullshit before they begin running the fade. And we gotta slow this down because Inosuke slices the first belt, jumps and spins, slicing 2 belts. Then slicing another 2 belts before hitting a backflip, slicing another belt before turning mid-air, slicing another belt. No one can ever tell me that Lord Inosuke does not have sauce. He even saves people while being this tough. Inosuke goes in to get the final kill on the belt, but it starts threatening to hurt innocent bystanders. But 2 of Tengen's wives come in with the save and they start helping throwing hands. Inosuke is still concerned about how no one is fast enough to save everyone from the scar. And then the GOAT comes in. Zenitsu, with this one and only thunder breathing form he knows, eviscerates the belt. Before Tengen blows a hole through the roof and slices through the belt even faster, making a colder entrance than Zenitsu. But the cameraman goes back to Tanjiro. All the commotion from this fight has caused everyone to step outside of their house, including one man who starts walking up to Tanjiro. And I'm not gonna lie, this nigga's an idiot. I would never say that anybody deserves to get their hand cut off, but I don't feel bad for what comes next. Because you started walking up to the kid with a sword in his hand, you started questioning what he got going on. I suggest you mind your business. And yes, the demon ends up cutting off the man's hand, but more importantly, she caused many innocent civilians to get hurt. Hey Brokey, do yourself a favor since there's no point in letting broke niggas live, and throw yourself into oncoming traffic. This fight is over. I don't spend time dealing with people who can't show me a band. Did she just say I can't show her a band? I don't know who you think I am, but I don't care whether I can show you a band or not. Because at the end of the day, at least I'm not a dirty sun ducker. And then he rushes in. This fight was so tough, I just know the animators got to see their families after this.
I'm so happy that you guys are going to see your families.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you guys. Hey, have y'all heard of Dark Lights?
Tanjiro started giving this demon belt so bad he had to be nerfed by stamina. She thinks she's finally got the win, but that's when the GOAT pulls up. Nezuko never duck a fade Kamado. But unfortunately at the start of this fight, Nezuko was getting bodied. But in hindsight, it's obvious now that she was just letting her get a few hits in, like any real nigga would. And to keep a long story short, Nezuko gave her the belt of a lifetime, a ferocious belt. Told her to move her hand. Look at her, she's stomping Shorty out for no reason. This fight had nothing to do with stopping demons. It had everything to do with just winning a fade. However, because of all this aggression Nezuko let out, she lost control and she starts attacking humans. So Tanjiro has to hold her back, and now he's stuck between letting innocents die or letting Nezuko go. But he no longer has to make that decision because the GOAT pulls up. You're that Hashira, right? I've been waiting to run our ones. Shut your lame ass up. After all, you're not the light weaver I was looking for. Just go ahead and die already. Tanjiro finally gets Nezuko under control while Tengen is trying to figure out why the demon still hasn't disintegrated. No, it's not fair. It's not fair. Y'all jump me. You sun rats never fight fair. Brother, they jump in. Tengen realizes another demon is growing out of this one's back, and he attempts the swift decapitation. But unfortunately, he airballed in the clutch. And now, they're in for the fight of their lives against both parts of Upper Six, Daki and Gyutaro. Honestly, let's skip the yap and get into their hands because I have a lot to say. Tengen goes in for the slice, but Gyutaro dodges, but manages to kick the shit out of Daki in the process. Tengen then airs out the place, going for Gyutaro's neck, but he dodges, only for Tengen to extend the sword by holding it by the tip. Pause. And I can't lie, that maneuver was goated. It was so goated, in fact, Tanjiro had to bring that hoe back in the movie. So, Ashira, you finally figured out how to win this fight. You gotta cut off both of our necks at the same time. But you can't do that. That's why we love doing it. We love jumping sun rats. Oh, hell no! Young OG and Inosuke not going for that because we're the ones who are gonna jump you! Who are these idiots? At this point, the entire town is evacuating, allowing everyone to run this fade without holding back. Oh yeah, y'all are tough. That was flashy as hell. I'm glad I taught y'all how to pull up properly. Learn a thing or two from your master. Oh yeah, now it's time for the boxing. Zenitsu calls ISO on Daki, and no cap, if Zenitsu calls ISO on you, you better have your will finished, because I assure you, you won't see tomorrow. We cut back to Tanjiro to see Tengen and Gyutaro are fighting so fast we can't even see what's going on. Belts start raining from the ceiling and Tanjiro blocks a couple of them. Inosuke joins with Zenitsu and the gang starts running duos. Gyutaro rushes Tengen, who parries 8 attacks before taking damage. And these two are going crazy. Gyutaro attempts to backdoor Tengen, but it gets blocked by Tanjiro. Meanwhile, Inosuke and Zenitsu are fighting for their lives on the roof. Tanjiro, though, has already discovered the game plan. See, this is what makes him a great role player. Tanjiro already figured out what he has to do, which is play defense for Tengen while he gets his ones. Truly the type of player any Hashira would love to fight alongside. And surely he'd never leave one out to dry during a fight. But then the fight begins to look hopeless until one of Tengen's wives pulls the blick out and unloads kunai on Gyutaro. Tanjiro follows that up with a neck slash, but Gyutaro was ready for that. Using his blood demon art, he almost attacks Tanjiro before Tengen kicks him out of the way and blocks the attack. Tengen continues fighting the belt before noticing Gyutaro is missing. Looking up to see Gyutaro has one of his wives like this. Oh nah, the disrespect is crazy. To make matters worse, this is his favorite bitch. And you know what you never do? You never mess with a man and his favorite woman. Tanjiro, thinking quickly, uses both Hinokame Kagura and water breathing, cutting off Gyutaro's hand and saving Tengen's wife. But now he has to worry about the ISO Gyutaro is running on him, because Gyutaro charges him and Tanjiro blocks the first 2 hits before getting trapped. Until Tengen pulls up one more time, going for Gyutaro's neck. Back to Zenitsu and Inosuke, they are putting in the work. Inosuke is out here showing off his Weave Nation certification, but the cameraman has to switch over to Gyutaro, who's about to get decapitated by both Tanjiro and Tengen. But then he blocks both of their shots. He attacks, jumping off the roof so that he and Tengen can go back to boxing. Daki ends up fighting Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke, who ends up using his Weave Nation certification to get through the belts and cut Daki's head off. Tanjiro tells Inosuke to run off with her head so that she couldn't reattach it while they helped Tengen fight Gyutaro. But Inosuke's inner Buddha Baker was showing because he got fetched. Gyutaro shows up behind him and stabs him in the heart, grabbing his sister's head. Tanjiro looks to see where Tengen could possibly be, and we see him stretched out on the ground with his left hand laying next to him. This shit looked like a crime scene. But the crimes weren't finished because Tanjiro turns around to see Zenitsu pushing him off a building. And for a sec I thought he switched teams. But no, he was protecting him. He's not like his Gramps' other shitty successor. But with Tanjiro falling off the building and the entire town blowing up, that leads us to the final confrontation. What the hell? Oh shit, I got knocked out. You good, twin? Alright, Nezuko's chill. Now, where's that son? What was that? I don't think I heard you correctly. Oh shit. You know you're a real lucky guy, right? Because on my mama, you and all your homeboys some hoes. Especially that Hashira. He was definitely bitch made. After thinking about it, I think you're a really cool guy. We should become friends. Hold my hand and psych, bitch. The disrespect throughout this entire segment is crazy. And for a sec, I thought Tanjiro was gonna give him the nastiest headbutt. But no, he hit the dash instead. Gyutaro catches up and kicks him into a burning building, but Tanjiro gets out of there. And witnesses Gyutaro walk him down. Tanjiro starts throwing shit at him, but none of it phases Gyutaro. It might actually be making him more mad, because he kicks the shit out of Tanjiro and continues talking his shit. Hey twin, tell you what, if you become a demon, I'll let you live. You'll no longer have to live being a dirty sun glazer. You got me fucked up. To ever think I'll become a fuck-ass sun ducker.
Damn, you hit that nigga so hard to replay 3 different times.
But this wasn't just any headbutt. He used this headbutt as a distraction from him stabbing him with the poison kunai. The entire time Tanjiro was retreating, he was laying out traps to make sure his plan worked. I never thought for a second my goat was a bitch. Real gangsters move in silence. And after this, Tanjiro goes for another decapitation attempt. Daki peeps this and tries to help, but her shit gets blocked by the goat Zenitsu, who pulls out the thunderclap and flash, but decides this time he's gonna put a switch on it. Gyutaro finally repels Tanjiro's slash, and then proceeds to put Tanjiro on defense. And Gyutaro is out here playing aggressively. He's mad. He's out here swinging with his eyes closed. He wants that kill shot. Damn it, he's walking me down. I'm cooked. What? The fuck?
First I was afraid, I was petrified, kept thinking I could never live without you.
Hey, little bro, sit back and watch. I'm about to belt this sun ducker's ass on some flashy shit, nigga! I can read it now. That filthy moon glazer score you have. What do you want me to say about this fight that hasn't been said already? This fight is sensational. These niggas were truly boxing. Almost made me shed a tear, but that wasn't the end of the fight. Tengen tackles Gyutaro, setting Tanjiro up for one of the craziest lobs in fiction. But Gyutaro is an all-time great defender, stabbing Tanjiro in the mouth, making him taste his blade. And I know that Joan tastes like straight ass. But Tanjiro don't give a damn about being stabbed in the mouth. He goes for the neck. Pause. The cameraman goes back to Zenitsu and he's starting to run out of stamina. Daki peeps this and tries to attack Zenitsu. But do you know the theme of this video? What do you think happened? That hoe was blocked by Inosuke. How the fuck is he still alive? What I tell y'all sun duckers? I'm the young OG Inosuke. You think stabbing me in the heart works? On me, I don't even know where my heart is in my own body. And he helps Zenitsu cut off Daki's neck. And with that, they end the greatest 7-game series in anime. And we gotta talk about how Gyutaro blew a 3-1 lead, cause this fight was mad winnable. And for those who slander Tengen for taking upper 6 to 7, yes, Tengen took upper 6 to 7 because Tanjiro played the Kyrie role to Tengen's LeBron. No other Hashira has beaten an upper moon without help. Besides, we'll talk about that menace one day, don't worry. And manga readers, please, no spoilers. We're talking about anime here. Now usually the video would end here, but this wasn't the end. Yo, this shit hurts. This poison is really gonna be the death of me. I gotta get this shit under control. What is Uzo yelling about right now? What could possibly be so important? Nigga, he's a bomb! Tanjiro wakes up to see Nezuko just vibing, and the entire town turned to ash. Nezuko gives bro a piggyback ride over to check on everybody else, and we see that Zenitsu is back to normal. So everything is all right here. He's back to his normal whiny self. But he says check on Inosuke, who is genuinely stretched out on the roof of a house. Nezuko cures him of the poison, and he wakes up wondering where they're gonna get something to eat later, as if it's a regular Tuesday. The cameraman moves over to Tengen and his 3 wives, and it's clear he's a goner. He attempts to say his last words, but his wives are arguing, and honestly, that's the price you pay. Should have stuck to one woman. Now you gotta die in annoyance. But Nezuko pulls up and cures him as well. We get to end this with Tengen walking out with his 3 wives, but not before telling that nigga Obanai that these little niggas are tough. And honestly, pick any one of them to replace me. Tengen gets to walk into the sunset after he left it all on the court, knowing that he's left the franchise in good hands. And with that, that brings an end to the entertainment district and an end to this video. I appreciate you if you watched the video all the way through. If you got this far, leave a like on the video. Last video I posted got 100 likes, which was the first video on this channel, and I really appreciate that. So the goal for this video is 200 likes, so get to like it, please. Leave a comment down below if you have any more anime arcs or just animes in general that you want me to cover. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And with that, this is Sprinter14, and I'm signing out.
She wanna go skate right now, ain't pushing the brakes right now, I'm pushing the brakes right now.